2025, I completely changed my strategies for my music video business for just 1 week. And in that 1 week, managed to secure my first $1,000 music video. It was 3 things that were just so simple, but were just one of those things that nobody realizes. The very first thing that changed that was doing the right type of free work. Because I'm sure everybody knows you need to do free work to start out, and I'm sure everyone is doing free work as you watch this video right now. But the problem people don't realize is free work can go into 2 different directions. I find that free work is beneficial for a portfolio and then beneficial in helping you grow your business. And I'll give you an example of what I mean by that. When I started making music videos, I was just doing free work for literally any artist I could find. Most of the time it was just, someone doing music as a hobby, or they post very rarely, and they were just always down to get some free content. Although that free work allowed me to build a portfolio with a lot of music videos in it, it did absolutely nothing in terms of growing my profile and my music video business. Because if you do work for artists that don't really take it seriously and don't understand the value of content, or just even just do it as a hobby here and there, that's gonna do nothing in terms of the end goal of getting high paid, consistent music videos. So that's what I mean by that free work is good for the portfolio. You wanna do free work that's good to grow your business. Now that you've learned that's not what you should be doing, you need to identify how to do that other kind of free work that's gonna actually help you grow and get exposure and recognition. I'll explain later in the video how to actually get these ideal artists as consistent clients with the methods that I use to make it work. But firstly, you need to learn how to identify these people. The type of free work that's going to help you is free work you do for artists that actually take their music very seriously, are going to constantly push and promote the content that you make for them, and can see are getting results and have good engagement and following on their posts. An artist doesn't even have to have a lot of followers. If you can study their posts and see they've got just a decent amount of views and comments, that means they've got a community behind them. And that community doesn't even have to be fans. It can be other creatives, it can be other artists, and that's almost even better. So instead of just hitting anybody up that you can find, filter these 2 types of artists and clients and focus on the people that are actually going to improve your business. Now that you've realized who you need to target, you need to learn how to build a genuine connection and relationship with this client so that they keep coming back to you. Believe it or not, I can guarantee you that most artists will come back to you based on the experience they had over how good you are. And that is a massive thing that I realized and you need to realize too. A music video is technically work, but at the end of the day, it's also an experience. What I actually realized is when I started treating a client more than just work and actually tried to build a relationship and a connection with them, is when you truly start to get a lifelong client. And the methods I use to do this, I like to call the 3 C's. Compliment, comment, and conversate. The first thing you want to do is compliment them. Compliment a song of theirs, their outfit, just anything. I normally always do a song. I have a thorough listen of the artist's songs, and I pick my favorite one and I say, man, that song was just amazing, where you killed that. Shows that you have an interest, it shows that you actually like who you're working with, and it's just something you can do straight off the bat when first meeting them to break the ice. The next thing I like to do is find things in common. I'm telling you, it can be awkward small talk for a certain period, but if you find one thing that you have in common, you can talk about that one thing for ages. Ask about their life, talk about yours, and you'll find something you both have in common. And thirdly is conversate. What I mean by this is when you're not working, just have a conversation non-stop. But if you always constantly try to talk and talk and talk, you're gonna build a better relationship. Ask a million questions if you need to, but just make sure you're always talking, because every 5-10 minutes that you talk, you get closer and closer with that artist. And that's just the base. You can go even further. You can be nice, you can get them a drink, you can offer to get food after as well. Just do anything to go that extra step, and I can guarantee you it's going to go a long way. Just do gestures that work for you and are most comfortable for you. Just do anything to make it the best shoot that they've ever had. And when you provide a client with the best shoot experience they've ever had, and you also deliver them a piece of work that they've never had, I guarantee you guys are locked in for life. And also, most importantly, when you have a connection with an artist, your shoot becomes so much more fun as well. There's no awkwardness, it's really relaxed. And I found that it just doesn't even feel like work anymore because you guys get along so well. And I'm telling you, if you do this effectively, that artist is going to stay with you because of that over how much skill you have. So now that you've got the people, connection, and social techniques to solidify a personal relationship with an artist, you now need to learn how to persuade additionally with your work. You can do this a number of ways. What I did was I used the knowledge from the relationship I built on the shoot day so that I can give them a piece of work that is exactly what they want. And obviously artists always want work that give them results too. So because it's the first shoot and ultimately the one that matters the most when trying to get a long-term client, I went the extra step and added YouTube ads onto the music video. What this is essentially Google ads, and you can choose how much money to put in to get a return on views. But these views aren't bots, they're actually real people that will click on the YouTube video and listen to the music. We're not trying to scam the artist here, so make sure the ad is in the artist's favor and not yours. As I said, they're real viewers, so if they actually like the music video, we'll go to the artist's Spotify or whatever platform and actually listen to their music if they like it. Just don't add too many views, otherwise it's going to look fake. You can choose to tell them, or you can choose not to tell them as well. I didn't choose to tell them, I just wanted to look like their video performed really well. And once it gets views from the ads you put on it, it actually has potential to get even more. You don't have to do that exact technique, but that's what I did and what I found works really well. So I did these exact steps with 2 artists at the start of 1 week. I had the videos finished by the end of the week, and by the end of the week when the artist reviewed and had a look over the videos, one of the artists booked me in on the spot for a few weeks later. And that video I was able to charge $1,000 for the first time. So if you follow these steps correctly and suit them to yourself as a person and as a creative, you're gonna have consistent music videos locked in every month just from one artist. As I said, these are things that people just don't realize, but are so simple, and there is no reason why it can't happen to you. So if you're looking for ways just like this to make even more money making music videos, I've got a completely free masterclass that explains the business and client side of music video production. So if that's something you guys want to watch, it's linked in my bio. But that's everything for this video. I hope you learned something, and if you did, leave a subscribe down below for even more videos just like this. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.